pear sweet. They can't get it, so I'm suggesting that you use this fruit sweet. This is a very neutralizing. I use it for anything I cook with. I do widow's luncheons at our office, and I make pumpkin apple muffins, and I use this for the sweetener. And people, all my widows loved it. And they were like, you know, when you can get widows that have eaten sugar all their life to switch and say that they really like something different, you know you're on the right track. You can bake, or you can use, some people like it in their coffee, some like it in their tea, stevia. Stevia is an herb, and that is, it's also something that we do in the Good, Better, Best. We consider it one of the better sugar or sweeteners, and I happen to use this in my iced tea. For some reason, I cannot have, if I go to a restaurant and I decide to order iced tea or make it at home because I make a herbal sun tea, I happen to like it just sweetened a little bit, and I use this stevia. Now, the reason I brought arrowroot up here is people are going to say, I don't understand what arrowroot is. Arrowroot is a natural thickener. And so, like, you're going to be making gravies possibly when it comes to Thanksgiving. Guess what? Mix, not cornstarch, mix arrowroot with some water and thicken your gravy with it. So this is a wonderful substitute, and many of you probably didn't recognize that. They also have wonderful teas, a couple different kinds, many different varieties here. And this one is green tea, and I wanted to bring that up because green tea is a real buzz right now. It does help in digestion. A lot of people have actually left their caffeine of coffee and went to the caffeine of green tea. And green tea is a wonderful substitute, and they have a couple different kinds here too. So I would suggest you go look in the natural section in the tea part. And that's closest to Cassie's desk over there too, isn't it, the teas. I happen to pick out a couple bars today. The Adewale bar that I suggest that you would get if you were looking for a protein bar to get, it's called Superfood. The Superfood one has the least amount of, let's say, negatives, okay? So this is what I would call one of the better bars that you would want to take, and that is Adewale Superfood. Also, this Lara bar, and this is the ginger snap or the cashew cookie. Now, it does have a lot of carbs to it, and I can't get away from it, but when you're on the run and you need a substitute for something other than stepping at McDonald's and getting the fries or the burger, these are the things you want to hold in your car, especially at the mid-afternoon time when you're saying, you know what, I need a break today. I wanted to bring about all these items here that I found in the gluten-free section. Every single one of these items here. I have to give a plug to Pamela's. Pamela has really changed society. She has changed a little bit of her ingredients, but she works really hard at helping people that have a problem with wheat to go to the next level and having great products that taste good. These chunky chocolate chips, personally, if you put these in the refrigerator or the freezer, I like cold cookies. I think they're awesome. So you can try these. They have a couple different brands, a couple different types over there in the natural section. This baking and pancake mix is really good. I have a son. Actually, both of my sons use this mix for their pancakes. They make their own pancakes, and they love them. And of course, they have certified organic maple syrup. You know what? When you're getting maple syrup, don't get things like that are really not maple syrup. I don't really want to talk about brands. There's a lot of brands that aren't maple syrup. There's other stuff in it with a lot of sugar water. So go to your organic and do pure maple syrup. And this is wonderful to have this available here. I wanted to point out a couple things because of the season. We are in the squash season now, and we have acorn and butternut squash. We actually have butternut squash. Last night for dinner, all we did is cut it in half and put it in the oven and let it bake for about an hour, and then I put put a little bit of butter and Celtic sea salt on mine. It was so sweet. It was like eating a piece of pie. And that's how sweet it was. Acorn squash is the same way. Cut it in half, put it in the oven, bake it for about an hour. Wonderful, wonderful time of season. Sweet potatoes are in now. And I wanted to point out that Heinens has golden beets. And golden beets are really good for filler also. And you're going to say filler, like filler in what? Soups, stews, and roasts. You know how the roast that used to put in the oven and you put potatoes and carrots and stuff? Put some beets in, golden beets, and they make everything taste a little bit sweeter. So if you happen to put this in your stew or your soup, the beet will actually make it sweeter. And you can puree this and add it to a soup, or puree it and add it to your stew. So I suggest that you try it. Let me just make sure I don't mix anything up here. These are some rice toasts. These are actually new. I've seen them in a couple places. They are gluten-free. These are rice toasts. This has flax seeds, and this is Thai red. So I'm thinking this might have a little warmth to it. I think there's a couple different kinds. Cassie, isn't there a couple tastes or different words? Okay, so they're also in the natural section too, I think. So go and look for that. They also have the brown rice snaps. This the vegetable one happens to be one of my son's favorites. So that's an alternative to crackers. And they don't have any hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils in them. Again, mix your grains. Quinoa is a very, very simple way to fix a grain. In the summertime, I think quinoa tastes really good with chopped cucumbers, chopped tomatoes, parsley, and you put some quinoa in it. You take a vinaigrette like this, and you have a cold salad. Quinoa is also wonderful. Like you can use barley or rice in a soup. You also can use quinoa in a soup. You can use quinoa in a casserole. So it's a grain that you can use that most people don't think about. And they do have recipes on the back here. So they have a pilaf, and they have quinoa stuffed peppers. So I love stuffed peppers. I make my stuffed peppers with ground chicken usually, ground rice. I put them in my organic peppers, and then I do like a tomato, like Muir Glen has fire roasted tomatoes, and I think you guys have them here in the store, the fire roasted. And get the diced ones, and you put that in with your stuffed peppers, and they are so sweet. So please try that. They have Lunenburg rice, which I think is wonderful rice, backed by the rices, and they have a couple different mixtures. This is really nice alternative to have, especially with your leftover turkey when you're going to have that on Thanksgiving. And then you have some rice. You can make a casserole with all the different items that are in the store. This I eat as a snack. This is a wonderful cereal. It is sweetened with raisin juice, concentrate, and a little bit of honey, but it has a really, really nice flavor, and it is also gluten-free. So this is called Nutty Rice, and they do have another one, but I can't keep Nutty Flats. Nutty Flats. So that would be good too. I don't think I've ever bought that one. Really good. Is it good? I'll have to try it next time. But I like to mix this with almonds and cashews, and then I just have a little bit extra of flavor, taste. So don't get hung up with cereal has to be for breakfast, and you can't eat vegetables or meat for breakfast. Mix things up through the day. Good pizza crust, and it's sugar-free. So most of your pizza crust has sugar in it because it has yeast, and yeast needs to be raised with sugar. This particular one is made out of rice, I'm pretty sure. And it also makes 2 pizzas, so you have 2 of them.